Start.
Hi everyone. Today we are going to deal about investment management, and I am Ali Razia Fatima, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Commerce with Computer Applications. Before getting into investment management, we need to know what is fundamental analysis and for what purpose we are going to deal with fundamental analysis. Security analysis is the thing we are going to deal with, and for a investor's purpose, we need to analyze the securities before getting to investment decision. Security analysis is broadly classified into three categories: fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and quantitative analysis. So fundamental analysis is the concept of evaluating the securities with the financial statement, current interest rate, and the financial market products, etc. etc. So fundamental analysis has to be done in three important layers. One is economic analysis, the second one is industry analysis, and lastly it is a company analysis. It is like a crust structure. The outer layer is economic analysis, the middle layer is industry analysis, and the inner layer is company analysis. The next is we are going to deal with economic analysis. Based on the economical situation, an investor has to make a decision whether to invest or not to invest. Boom economy is an appropriate investment mode or the situation to make an investment decision, whereas recession economy, the company is generally moves in a poor condition, and it is not a good sign to get into the investment decision. So the key economic variables we have to deal with is gross national product. It is nothing but aggregate volume of product which the industries, companies, and the stakeholder is going to produce for the whole country. And higher GNP is more favorable for investment decision. Next is savings and investment. When there is savings, then there will be investment. When there is investment, then only the company will prosper in its own perspective. So higher savings and investment is going to have a greater impact on the investment decision. The next is inflation. So it is burning issue in all the economical situation. So inflation is nothing but a sustainable rise in prices. Without inflation, a country can't grow in its own perspective. So inflation is very essential. In a higher inflation, it is going to have a higher investment proposal. Lower inflation leads to lower investment decision making. The next is agriculture. Agriculture is backbone of Indian economy. So agricultural production is directly or indirectly associated with the company's growth. So when the growth of the agriculture is higher and higher, the company will also grow, and it will lead to more and more investment proposals. Next is rate of interest. Lower interest rate always stimulate the investment, and higher interest rate will degrade the investment decision. Next is infrastructure. Good infrastructure obviously is good for the economy, and an economy is growing, then the investment will also grow along with it. Bad economy, bad infrastructure leads to bad economy, and generally there will be a lower investment decisions. Political stability. By talking the political stability, a stable long-run political environment will always end up in a good investment proposals. So these are the economical analysis we need to make before making an investment decision. Next comes is the industry analysis. So industrial performance is a foundation for the company's performance. So before getting into the company's decision, we need to make a decision regarding which industrial sector we are going to select for investment purpose. So talking about the industry, automobile is an industry, and among the automobile industry there are various companies like Tata Motors, Mahindra, Maruti, Hero, etc. So while to get into the industry analysis, we need to classify or we need to study about three different segmentations: life cycle of an industry, characteristics of an industry, and profit potential of an industry. So first of all, we will deal with life cycle of an industry. Likewise, a product is having a life cycle. Like the industry is also has its own life cycle, which is of 4 stages. Pioneering stage, which is an introduction stage. In this stage, the investor has to be cautious enough to make the investment, because there is a chance of loss for the companies. The next stage is expansion stage. It is a perfect stage to make an investment decision, because this is the stage where a company starts to mature itself, they earn more profit, the sales will be increased. So it is the best opportunity and best time to make an investment. Next is stagnation stage. So this is the stage where the investor has to be cautious enough to make an investment decision. It is better to dispose the securities in the stagnation stage, so that there will not be taking a risk in their heads. The last stage is decay stage. So it is the last stage of life cycle. Every industry has to travel these 4 stages. When in the decay stage, when the industry is in a poor situation, the investor is better to sell off the securities which they are already holding it. The next segmentation we are going to see is characteristics of an industry. The main characteristic of an industry is the demand and supply analysis. The supply should be insufficient and the demand should be more than the supply position. So there should be an inverse relationship, and that inverse relationship, the supply should be lower and demand should be higher. So this is the perfect situation for an industry, so that the investor can able to select that company or industry for making an investment. The next is period of life. This was the thing which was already talked about it. That is a pioneering stage, expansion, stagnation, and the decay stage. So among these 4 period of life cycle, we have to select a expansion stage for making an investment. Next is government's attitude. The government's attitude on a particular industry is very much important, because when there is a favorable attitude of the government, then the company and the industry will prosper in its own way without any obstacles. So when there is lower obstacle, then the prosperity will be higher and the investment returns will also be higher. The next is availability of raw material. It is another important area where we have to concentrate. So the raw material availability is very much important, and it is going to directly affect the company's growth. When there is an adequate raw material availability, then there is no obstacle or problem for the industry. So they will grow in their own perspective, and the growth industry, the investment will grow and the higher returns will be earned. The next is cost structure. We have to select a company or industry which is having a lower fixed cost and lower break-even point, so that automatically profitability will be increasing. So this is the thing we need to take care of before making an investment decision. All these due points regarding the economic analysis and industry analysis has to be taken care of. Thank you. Have a nice day.